Some characters in Peppa's world are so evil that they even end up becoming the villains of the story. Are you ready to meet the worst and most cruel characters in Peppa Pig? Madame Gazelle. Some people think Madame Gazelle is a good teacher who has never done anything bad to anyone, but that's a huge mistake because this character is a life-sucking vampire. She really is a vampire, and this was confirmed in the cartoon during the Halloween episode when her reflection didn't appear in the mirror. That's one of the classic traits of a vampire. And if this character, who is very old, really is this kind of monster, the question we have to ask is, what do vampires eat? Exactly. The only way Madame Gazelle can stay alive is by feeding on victims. Does that mean she's only a teacher because she wants to get close to kids when she's hungry? That's something truly scary, but if she doesn't feed on her students, well, at least the kids are safe. But someone out there is serving as food for this character, and whoever it is, they're a poor victim of a dangerous vampire. That's why Madame Gazelle is such a cruel character, isn't she? Did you notice today's video is getting pretty heavy? So grab your popcorn and a nice cold drink because another super snow wave is about to begin. Big Bad Wolf. Mr. Wolf is a character who makes it onto the list of the cruelest in the whole show. In fact, he's one of the worst in all of animation. This wolf is a direct reference to the villain from the fairy tale The Three Little Pigs. When Daddy Pig builds a new house for the wolf family, the wolf blows on the building just to see if it will fall down. Then the villain asks Daddy Pig where he lives, and you know exactly why he's asking that, right? The wolf wants to eat the pigs. In the episode The Boat, Mr. Wolf is crossing a river with Daddy Pig. The two are on their way to a picnic, but in the middle of the trip, Mr. Wolf looks at Peppa's dad and says he's hungry. Also, if you pay attention, you'll notice there aren't any other pigs around besides Peppa's family. Could this mean the wolves ate all the others? Whatever the truth is, Mr. Wolf is evil because he always hints that he wants to turn Daddy Pig into dinner. Would you trust Mr. Wolf? Mr. Fox. Mr. Fox, Freddy's dad, is one of those characters everyone knows is an evil thief, but to this day it's still a mystery why he hasn't been arrested. Maybe because he sells things people actually want to buy. If you watch the episode Night Animals, you'll remember this character sneaking into Grandpa Pig's yard at night without permission. And he did that because he wanted to eat Granny Pig's chickens. That night, the villain gave up on devouring the chickens because he was caught off guard, but he didn't go home empty-handed. In the episode Mr. Fox's Shop, we can see in the fishing aisle that he has a collection of ships inside glass bottles. But in the episode The Attic, we find out this ship collection actually belonged to Grandpa Pig, which means that on the night Freddy's dad tried to eat the chickens, he also broke into Peppa's grandparents' attic and stole Grandpa Pig's ship collection. That makes him one of the most evil characters in all of Peppa's series. Do you agree? Pirate. The pirate Redbeard is definitely one of the most evil. Just like Mr. Fox, this pirate is a thief, but he loves to steal treasure filled with coins and precious gems. But Redbeard isn't just evil because he's a thief, it's also because he's doing something super suspicious in Peppa's town. You don't get what we mean? Let us explain. In the episode Police Boat, Peppa, George, and Freddy spend the day with the law officers, but at one point they run into Redbeard, who's hiding his treasure chest. That means this character already has his fortune. But throughout the show, we see Redbeard still wandering around town, and that's really weird. If he already has his treasure, then why does he keep roaming around like he's searching for something? Let's not forget he's an outlaw, otherwise he wouldn't be a pirate. In other words, this character is up to something that goes beyond just finding treasure. What do you think he's doing? Whatever it is, it's definitely not good. Would you rather join a pirate crew or be a part of Peppa's gang? Comment #Peppa so we can connect. Grandpa Rabbit. Grandpa Rabbit seems like a nice guy, right? Wrong. Rebecca's grandpa is actually a super evil character who likes to get back at kids when they annoy him. Don't believe it? We'll prove it. Do you remember the episode where he joined Madame Gazelle's class? That day, Edmund kept interrupting Grandpa Rabbit's presentation because he wanted to show how smart he was. That could have made Grandpa Rabbit really mad. And then in the Science Museum episode, Grandpa Rabbit put Edmund inside a rocket and turned the machine on, blasting the little elephant far away, which could have been very dangerous and might even have ended in an accident. Another thing that shows Grandpa Rabbit's evil side was the day he took Peppa, George, and Granny Pig to space. But during the flight, he didn't give the main character a helmet. That's super dangerous because you can't breathe outside planet Earth. Grandpa Rabbit, you are very evil and dangerous. Twin. Peppa's twin sister Olivia Pig is one of those characters that definitely belongs on our list. Some people think she doesn't exist, but believe it, Olivia is in the show. She's already appeared in an official image of the series showing the whole pig family outside the house while Olivia was watching everything from the window. And if you watch Peppa's behavior, sometimes it feels like she's a completely different person. Like, for example, the day she didn't let George watch his favorite TV show, or when she decided to accuse Susie of cheating in a card game just because she couldn't win against her friend. The best explanation for this fake Peppa's behavior is to imagine it was her evil twin sister who likes to take the main character's place sometimes. But what do you think about that? Peppa! But if you don't believe in Olivia Pig, then the only explanation is that Peppa herself is actually a very evil main character. That's a pretty serious thing to say, considering she's the star of the show. The little pig shows just how cruel she can be every time she mistreats her family, especially Daddy Pig. Let's remember the day Grandpa Pig built a treehouse for the grandkids, and Peppa decided to use his dad's belly as the password to get in, all just to make a mean joke about Daddy Pig's weight. Then when she kicked George out of the treehouse, even though the toy also belonged to him. Or when she convinced the whole town that Mummy Pig was going to skydive without even talking to anyone in the family about it. That day, Daddy Pig fell out of a plane and almost lost his life. Peppa really is very evil. Mrs. Cow. Have you ever noticed that Mrs. Cow is a terrible mother? Yes, this character has a missing daughter who doesn't even go to Peppa's school. Thanks to the internet, we know the little calf's name is Claire Cow, but where has this character gone? What kind of mother doesn't take her own daughter to her wedding? Claire should have been one of the main characters in the episode where Mrs. Cow marries Mr. Bull, but she wasn't there. On top of that, this character isn't in Peppa's school class, and you might think, well, maybe there are other schools. But since Mr. Bull keeps showing up in Madame Gazelle's classroom, it feels really strange to think his daughter wouldn't be studying alongside the main character. Could Claire's parents actually be evil? What do you think? We think it's about time you hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell. Uncle and Aunt Pig. Speaking of an evil couple, we definitely have to add Uncle and Aunt Pig, the parents of cousin Chloe and baby Alexander. But why did they make our list? That's very well explained in the episode Noisy Night. In that story, the pig couple made the biggest racket trying to get their youngest to sleep. Aunt Pig played the trumpet, while her husband used a vacuum cleaner. All because they said Alexander liked to sleep with noise, which is a lie, since Daddy Pig proved that all it takes is a stroller ride. In other words, while everyone else wanted to sleep, this evil couple kept causing chaos. So much so that by the end of the story, all the neighbors had woken up in the middle of the night. Keeping people from sleeping? Now that's real evil. Aunt Dottie. Aunt Dottie, who doesn't live near the family, is one of the characters who really shows how cruel she can be. She gave the kids a horse on wheels as a gift even though they live in a place full of hills. That toy is super dangerous, so much so that in the end, Daddy Pig gets into an accident. Was Aunt Dottie trying to hurt her nieces and nephews? Maybe so. The Queen. Do you remember the day the kids went to visit the Queen and she jumped off a bridge while driving a bus full of little ones inside? That day the Queen showed just how reckless and evil she could be. She put several kids at risk just because she didn't want to follow traffic laws, and that's pure evil. Susie. And finally, one character who's really evil is Susie Sheep. In the episode Imaginary Friend, she made up that she was talking to an invisible lion only she could see. And when Peppa tried to be a good friend and join in the game, Susie was cruel, telling the little pig that she couldn't see the imaginary lion. Susie, everyone knows that your friend doesn't exist, and yet you still choose to be mean to Peppa. Evil Susie. But we're gonna be nice to you and show you 2 more super fun videos for everyone to enjoy. We'll see you in a bit. Until next time.